All right, here's part two for the AP final review. I only had 15 minutes for the screencast-o-matic, so I went up to the limit. So anyway, this is where we left off with tips. All right, so the next thing, test rules. So encourage you to watch the video AP 2020 exam, the rules. There's a link to that on the test resource folder in Schoology. Just watch it. It's a shorter video, a couple minutes. But just a couple highlights. Make sure you don't talk during the test. Apparently they'll have some way to monitor that. You can search, like a Google search, but my advice is don't. It sounds like the way the test is, a Google search won't help you. So don't waste your time. I think you'll be hard pressed to answer all the questions. Don't waste your time searching for something that won't really help you anyway. That's the advice from College Board too, not just me. And then the test is open notes, so have your notes handy, have them organized. It helps if you remember what concepts come from which units. But my advice is don't rely too much on open notes. Just having open notes is it's not going to replace just knowing the content in the first place. So again, it's part of it's a time issue. Yeah, part of it's a time issue because if you have to look through the notes, you're not going to be able to spend time going through the rest of the questions. Now that being said, if you do happen to get done and you have time to go back and maybe look up something, then it might be a good resource. But yeah, so that's enough on the notes. Make sure on your whichever device you're using on the day of the test, make sure you don't have any sites where you can share anything. That will be a violation of the test. And then make sure you don't have any shared documents. So if you have a Google Doc, make sure you're the only person on that Google Doc, that you don't have that document shared with anybody. So those are the test rules. But yeah, like I said, you want to watch that short video. And then, so what happens if something goes wrong? Now, first of all, what do they mean by something going wrong? If you run out of time and don't submit the answers in time, that doesn't qualify as something going wrong. Something going wrong is your internet goes out for a little while. You're disrupted by something that wasn't up to you. Your electricity goes out. Your computer breaks down, something like that, something that goes wrong with the technology that doesn't allow you a fair chance to finish the test. So first of all, there's a makeup date. There's a makeup date for every AP test. For chemistry, it's Tuesday, June 2nd at 3 o'clock. Now, first of all, if something goes wrong, don't call me. During an AP test, you're not supposed to talk to your teacher about anything. I was told make sure you keep your e-ticket because you'll need your AP number to request a makeup. You'll want to go to, if something happens where you think you can redo the test, you want to go to this website right here, the College Board, cb.org/request makeup, and you want to go there within 48 hours to make a request, and they'll expect you to provide some sort of explanation. You could also contact Mrs. Telfer on test day, since you can't contact me, and there's her email address. And then if you do send her an email, include your phone number for her to give you a call. Now, if something goes wrong where you get kicked out for whatever reason when you're taking the test, try to go back to that e-ticket and log on right away and see if it gets you back in. And if it's just a matter of a few seconds, then just keep going. But if it's a longer disruption than that, then you should have good grounds for requesting a makeup to redo it in June. Okay. And then, so final prep. So far everything has been about like the test format and how to take the test. So you want to become familiar with that so you can focus on the content. And these are some ways to help you review that content. And then also understand that, understanding the content is just the start of it. You want to be able to problem solve and think um, in terms of that content, and use those things that we learn throughout the year to solve different problems. Um, so some things that you can look at just to give a final prep, and with the understanding you're not going to learn everything, but these are just to refresh your memory in preparation for the test on next Thursday. You can look at the updated notes. I posted updated notes in all the review folders, and that's all the notes that we took. But I put them into, like, if a unit was on 2 or 3 different chapters, I put them all into one set of notes, so it's easier to look at. There's the AP review videos. I put a link to that in the test resource folder, and those are they're put out by College Board. They're like 45 to 50-minute screencasts. There's like a 2 or 3 or 4 for each unit of information, and I think they're a really good resource. You could look at the review screencasts that I made. Those are shorter, because of the time constraints that we had with the distance learning. Then there's practice FRQs on the AP classroom. Even other than the FRQs that I had you do, there's you can do self-practice on there, and there's information that I posted again on the test resource folder. So you can do some of those. And then if you have a Barron's or a 5 Steps to a 5, one of those review books, you can look at those too. But between now and the day of the test, you do want to go back and try to refresh your memory a little bit on all the different units that you need to know. And really with this year, with the AP classroom and the review videos, there's more resources for reviewing the content than we've ever had in the past. So please put those to good use. And that is all for this review screencast. If you have any questions, feel free to email. Make sure you practice with the technology so you're comfortable with that. And again, let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye.